What's going on, guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a life update, a little bit of a cut update, and then I'm going to take you through one of my back workouts, and I'm just going to kind of have a chat to you over the top of it so you can get some tips, you get some tricks, and you can also find out about the life of Beth. Okay, so in terms of my cut, I've been in my cut now for 3 weeks. I don't think I've officially announced about the cut because I kind of just wanted to get on with it and see how my body was going to react, because you know what my stomach's like. As soon as I decide to do something, it seems to have other ideas. So the cut seems to be going pretty well. I have only this week started tracking macros again. I have been following flexible dieting approach, but for the first 2 weeks I was kind of eyeballing things. Obviously I've been flexible dieting now for 2 years, for you guys that know me and know the channel. So I have been doing it for 2 years, so I kind of know what portions look like, and I could kind of have a bit of a guesstimate, and I'd just add it into MyFitnessPal afterwards, and I'd aim for just rough numbers rather than being bang on as I normally would do. And I'm sorry I'm so pale, I'm due a spray tan, and I'm really sicky, so if I sound a bit nasally, I'm sorry, okay, but I want to get a video up for you guys. So for the first 2 weeks or so, I basically focused on, my first goal for the first week was just to eat 3 proper meals, get my meals back on track, and also to increase my water intake. Now, my water intake is something that I'm not normally too bad with, but I definitely started to slack. And then the week after that, I focused on my workouts. So I set myself a workout plan, I had that in place, and I aimed to hit that every single day. Now, at this point, I've not implemented cardio or anything like that. I was literally just getting my habits back on track. So now this week I have implemented my macros. So I've set my macro targets. I'm not gonna tell you all what macros I'm on because you know me, I say this every time. I wouldn't want you to go off what my macros are because my metabolism's different, my activity level's different, my height, my weight, everything about an individual. There's so many individual differences that can affect your macros, and I wouldn't want you guys to think that the macros that I'm on are kind of the magic pill or the magic macro ratio to be able to kind of lose body fat. So basically I haven't thrown myself in at the deep end. I haven't decided that I'm gonna stick to macros, hit the gym more, do my cardio, make sure I'm drinking enough. I've not decided to do all of that at once. I would say that I am like a moderately experienced lifter. I've been lifting 2 or 3 years, which I know isn't a lot, but basically what I'm trying to say is that even someone that has been lifting 2 or 3 years, we kind of gradually pull ourselves back into a cut. We don't try and throw ourselves in at the deep end because it's just setting yourself up for failure. Pick yourself a goal per week and just focus on one thing. Small little changes will make the big difference, and once you've got them set as a habit, that's when it will just come first hand. So that is my little Beth life update. I'm definitely feeling better since I have gone back to more of a bodybuilding focus. I feel like I've got purpose and I've got structure and direction again, which feels great. I've set my goals, and yeah, it just feels good. It just feels good. I feel like my physique is changing again. I just feel like I go into the gym and I have this like kind of drive and purpose again. I don't know, or just the style of training that I've gone back down to, like I just love it. I love bodybuilding. That's just where I started. I don't think I need to go back into this whole spiel because this video is getting very long already. Okay, so let's just get into my workout. I'm going to talk you through one of my favorite back sessions. So basically after the pull-ups, I start with bent over rows. So here you can see that I'm doing it in the power rack. I've got the big long bar. This is 30 kilograms. I do 4 to 5 sets of 10 to 12 reps. So I'm heading for more of a hypertrophy range. Between 8 and 12 you're looking at. So basically what you want to try and do here is pull up. I like to pull up to my belly button. It's more of a scooping motion. I tend to feel that better in my lats. It's completely up to you where you want to hit your back to where you pull it to. But basically if you pull it into your belly button, I find that nice scooping motion hits my lats better. You want to keep a nice neutral back. Hinging at the hip, remember guys, hinge at the hip. I see a lot of people hinging and bending through their back. You really don't want to do that. You're putting extra pressure on your lumbar. hinge at your hip and you'll feel it a lot more through your back when you're pulling. I also use a pronated grip. So I'm overhand rather than underhand. Now I can't speak for the guys here, but when I work with a lot of females, when you use supinated underhand grip, you are finding that you're pulling it through your biceps. Yes, you can pull it a little bit closer up to your belly button and you can get a better squeeze sometimes, but you are not only using your back, you're using your biceps as well. So I prefer to have an overhand grip and I recommend you to try that. It might feel a bit weird at first, but please give it a go. Then I moved on to lat pull downs. Now lat pull downs, I like to do 4 to 5 sets. Again, I really like the volume I get with these. I will either do drop sets or a superset. This is probably one of my favorite exercises. So I like to do a neutral grip and I also go for a wide grip. With this, you want to set yourself, roll your shoulders back, lock your scapula in and don't extend up and let yourself become unhinged when you get to the top of the motion. Okay, so then I moved on to seated cable rows. Now this is on the cable machine. You can do these stood up as well on a cable machine with just the handle. So if you don't have this piece of equipment, don't worry too much. I like to do them with the handles rather than, you can do them, you can see down there's like the little cage bar and you can do it with the wonky bar. I personally prefer the handles, but again, it's personal preference. I just find that I can get a better squeeze. I can pull it all the way into my stomach rather than getting stuck here, and I can get my arms a little bit wider. When I go a little bit wider, it means I can flare my lats a little bit and just help fire them up. What I found from training back for the past couple of years is that it is very much individual to how you feel it, you hit it, and how you get that mind-muscle connection. Everyone is different. Different exercises work well for different people. It's all about the makeup, your muscle belly size, how many fibers you've got in there, whether you can fire it up in a certain way. Different people feel it in different ways. So find out what works for you and stick with it. This is one of my favorite exercises. I really feel like it helps to build my upper back and get me that nice, like, muscular kind of width. I don't really know how to describe it. I feel like it really, really helps to develop my upper back. As you can see from this angle, you can see that I've got that nice like taper. It's not as good as it is when I'm in prep, but you can see that nice taper, and that's what I'm kind of working for here. Try and hit it from all angles. Next, I move on to renegade rows. Now these are an excellent exercise and it's not something that I would normally do. Normally I'd throw it into like circuits and things like that, but this is the first time I've added it into like a hypertrophy session. Basically, you're in that plank position, you're pulling up through that row, you want to think about that nice scoop again to hit the lats, but what you're wanting to do is keep in that nice straight plank position. So your core is basically having to stay as tight as possible. It's like a plank, but like 10 million times harder. So if you wanted to build your core, definitely want to try. And then I finished off with just some bicep exercises. I didn't film all of the bicep exercises. So this is the Preacher Curl machine. Now I never used to use machines for biceps until Sam showed me this one and I absolutely loved it. I used to do this with a barbell, but I found with the cable, it's just really good to keep the tension on there and to be able to do drop sets without having to like lug weights off and things like that. So as you can see, my positioning was maybe a little bit low. Really, you want the whole part of your tricep on the pad. So I could have done with being a little bit closer and a little bit further down. But nevertheless, you can get a really, really good drive and pump through these. You want to think about contracting up and making sure you're going all the way down. So you're getting that really nice stretch out of your bicep. You'll get DOMs in there the next day. Not so much when you're like this. When you're nice and extended like this, that's when it's going to hurt. So what I like to do, especially when I'm working with another person, we will do the reps, as many reps as you possibly can at that set weight. So you're aiming again for that 10 to 12 rep range. But when you get to that point of failure, that's when the person will step in and you're going to help them up with that concentric contraction. And then on the eccentric, so on the negative part, you want to think about doing it as slowly as you possibly can. It's on that eccentric contraction where the muscle fibers are going to be breaking and tearing and making those minuscule tears that then help to basically grow the muscle. So nice and slow on the way back down, the person helps back up and then you go again. So add that to your routine. I really hope you got some tips. I would love if you try out the routine and see how you feel. Make sure you tag me in your sweaty selfies. You know that I love that. So tag me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.